Good morning. Today we will study properties of a normal group, normalizer and centralizer. So first of all we will study characterization of a normal group. Means a subgroup H of a group G is normal if and only if X inverse is equal to H for all X in G. We will prove it in two parts. First we will suppose that X inverse is equal to H, then H is a normal subgroup of G. Then we will suppose that H is a normal subgroup of G and show that X inverse is equal to H for all X in G. So first of all, let X inverse equal to H for all X in G. This implies X inverse is a subset of H. It is obvious. So H is a normal subgroup of G. Because in previous lecture we have proved that a subgroup H of G is normal in G if and only if X inverse is a subset of H for all X in G. Now converse, let H be a normal subgroup of G. Then X inverse is a subset of H for all X in G because G is normal. H is normal in G if and only if X inverse is a subset of H. Again we have utilized the same result. Also, since X belongs to G, therefore X inverse also belongs to G because G is a group and hence inverse of each of its element exists. So, because X inverse is also an element of G, so this equation number 1 also hold for the element of for X inverse. So if we replace X by X inverse here, we get X inverse H inverse of X inverse is a subset of H. I have replaced X by X inverse in this equation. So X inverse H inverse of X inverse is nothing but X. So X inverse H, X is a subset of H. So this implies X into X inverse Hx into X inverse is a subset of X, H, X inverse. I have included X on both sides, then X inverse on the right of both sides. And on applying associativity on left hand side, we are left only with H. Because X inverse is nothing but the identity element. Here also X inverse is nothing but the identity element because G is a group and identity element exists in a group. Therefore H is a subset of X inverse for all X belonging to G. In one, this is X inverse is a subset of H. Here H is a subset of X inverse. Combining 1 and 2, X inverse is equal to H for all X in G. So next result is a subgroup H of a group G is normal if and only if the product of two right cosets of H in G is again a right coset of H in G. This result also hold for left cosets. Also that G is normal if and only if the product of two left cosets of H in G is again a left coset of H in G. But here we are proving here for right cosets. On following similar pattern, we may prove it for left coset as well. So first of all, we assume that H is a normal subgroup of G, and we will show that product of two right coset is again a right coset. Then in converse part, we will assume that product of right coset is a right coset and we will prove that H is normal in G. So let H be normal subgroup of G. Let A and B be any two elements of G. Therefore HA and HB are two right cosets of H in G. HA into HB can be written as H into AHB. AH is equal to HA because H is normal in G. Here it is A. H is normal subgroup, therefore HA is equal to AH. So HHAB, we may write it. HH is nothing but H. H into AB. But AB is also the element of G, because A belongs to G and B belonging to G implies AB belongs to G, because G is a group and closure axiom holds in G. So this is also a HAB is also a right coset of H in G. Thus the product of two right cosets is again a right coset of H in G. Now converse, let H be a subgroup of G such that product of two right cosets of H in G is again a right coset of H in G. Let X be any element of G. This implies X inverse belongs to G because inverse of each element exists in G because G is a group. Therefore, Hx and X inverse are two right coset of H in G. This implies Hx into Hx inverse is also a right coset of H in G. And since E belongs to H, therefore E X inverse is equal to E belongs to H X H inverse H X inverse. But H itself is a right coset of H in G and E belongs to H. And we know that two right cosets are either identical or disjoint, but E is the common element in the two right cosets, so these must be identical. So also if two right cosets have one element in common, then they are identical. So Hx inverse is equal to H for all x belonging to H. If H1 belongs to H, also H belongs to H, then we may write H1 x H x inverse belongs to H, because by property of a cosets AH is equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. Here it was equal, so this element belongs to H. So including H1 inverse on right hand side as well as on left hand side, we get H1 inverse H1 x H x inverse belongs to H1 inverse H for all x belonging to G and H1 H belonging to H. On applying associativity on left hand side, we are left with x H x inverse because H1 inverse H1 is equal to E, the identity element, because H1 is the element of H and H is a subgroup of G, therefore inverse of each element exists in H. So X H X inverse belongs to H for all x belonging to G. Here on the right hand side, H1 inverse, for H1 inverse H I have written H because H1 inverse belongs to H and H1 inverse should be equal to H by the property of cosets AH equal to H if and only if A belongs to H. So H is a normal subgroup of G. Now intersection of two normal subgroup of G is a normal subgroup of G. Let H and K be two normal subgroup of a group G. This implies H intersection K is a subgroup of a group G because H and K are normal subgroups, so they must be at least subgroup of G, and product of two subgroup is a intersection of two subgroup is a subgroup. So H intersection K is a subgroup of a group G. Let X be any element of G and H be any element of H intersection K. Because H belongs to H intersection K, it means H belongs to H as well as H belongs to K. H is common in both H and K. So H belongs to H and H belongs to K. Since H is normal subgroup of G, therefore H belonging to H and X belonging to G implies X H X inverse belongs to H. K is a normal subgroup of G and H belongs to K and X belongs to G implies X H X inverse belongs to K. So X H X inverse belongs to both H and K. Therefore X H X inverse belongs to H intersection K. This implies X intersection K is a normal subgroup of G. This result may be generalized as intersection of any collection of normal subgroup of a group G is a normal subgroup of G. This may be proved following similar steps for collection of normal subgroups of a group G. Next, the set of all cosets of a normal subgroup of a group G with respect to multiplication of complexes as the composition. The set of all cosets of H in G is denoted by G by H. So today we will show that it is a group with respect to multiplication of coset, which is called a quotient group or a factor group. So for this I have mentioned that set of all cosets of a normal subgroup of G is a group with respect to multiplication of complexes as the composition. Let H be a normal subgroup of G. It means AH is equal to HA for all A belonging to G. So because HA is equal to HA, it means there is no distinction between right coset and left cosets. So we may simply call them cosets. Let G by H be the collection of all the cosets of H in G, that is G by H is equal to HA for all A belonging to G. This G by H is called the quotient set. And now we will prove that this quotient set G by H is a group. It will be a group if it satisfies all the properties of a group. Means it satisfies closure axiom, associative axiom, existence of identity and existence of inverse. Let A, B belongs to G. So HA, HB belongs to G by H. So HA into HB is nothing but H into AHB. Because H is normal, therefore AH is equal to HB. And this is equal to HHAB because A belongs to G, B belongs to G implies AB belongs to G. So AB is the element of G because closure axiom is satisfied in a group. So HS is nothing but H, so this is HAB because AB is the element of G, therefore HAB is the coset, in fact it is the right coset. So it belongs to G by H because G by H is nothing but the collection of cosets of H in G. Thus G by H is closed with respect to coset multiplication. Now associativity. Let A, B, C belongs to G. So HA, HB, HC belongs to G by H because G by H is collection of cosets of H in G. So HA into HB into HC is equal to HA into HBC because product of two right coset is again a right coset. And this is equal to, and BC is the element of G because closure axiom is satisfied in G and B and C are the element of C. So this is again equal to H of A into BC because A is the element of G, BC is the element of G, therefore ABC also belongs to G because again closure axiom is satisfied in G because A and BC both are elements of G, so their product must be element of G. And this is equal to H into ABC because associative law also holds for the elements of G because G is a group. And HAB into C may be written as HAB into HC. And we may write HAB as HA into HB into SC because product of two right coset is a right coset. Thus the product G by H satisfies associative law since HA into HB SC is equal to HA into HB into HC. Now we will show the existence of identity. Let E belongs to G because G is a group, so identity element must exist in G. So H is equal to HE. HE is again a coset and it belongs to G by H because G by H is the collection of cosets. Also if HA belongs to G by H, then H into HA is equal to HE into HA because H is equal to HE. E is the identity element. This is a right coset, this is a right coset, product of right coset is a right coset, so this is equal to HEA. and EA is nothing but HA, because E is the identity element, EA equal to A. Similarly, we can show that HA equal to HA into H is equal to HA. Thus, the coset of H in G is the identity element of G by H. Now, existence of inverse. Let A belongs to G. Therefore, A inverse also belongs to G because G is a group and inverse of each of its element exists. So, therefore, HA and H inverse belongs to G by H. And this implies HA into H inverse is equal to H into AA inverse, because product of two right coset is a right coset of H in G. AA inverse is nothing but the identity element, because identity element exists in a group, and HE is equal to H. Similarly, we can show that HA inverse into HA is equal to H. So the coset HA inverse is the inverse of HA. Thus, each element of G by H possesses inverse. Hence, G by H is a group with respect to multiplication of cosets. Now, normalizer of an element of a group. If A belongs to G, then the normalizer of an element in a group G consists of those elements in G which commutes with A. This point is important. It consists of those elements which commutes with A. So, NA is equal to X belonging to G such that AX is equal to XA. Since EX is equal to XA, XE for the identity element E for all X belonging to G, therefore normalizer of E is equal to G. Also, if we consider an element X of an abelian group, then AX is equal to XA for all X belonging to G, because elements of abelian group are commutative. So, normalizer of an element of a abelian group is nothing but the group itself. So, normalizer of an element of an abelian group coincide with the group. One more thing, NA is not necessarily a normal subgroup of G. It may be a normal subgroup, it may not be a normal subgroup. Now, centralizer of a group. Let H be a subgroup of G. Then the set CH equal to X belonging to H, G such that XH equal to HX for all H belonging to H is called the centralizer of H in a group G. Normalizer of a subgroup. Here it was normalizer of an element of a group. It is normalizer of a subgroup. Let H is a H be a subgroup of G. Then the set NH equal to X belonging to G such that XH equal to HX, or we may write it as X belonging to G such that XH X inverse equal to H is called the normalizer of H in a group G. Now we will show that normalizer of any element of a group G is always a subgroup of the same group. Let G be any group. Let NA be normalizer of A belonging to G in G. Now suppose XY belongs to NA. This implies AX is equal to XA and AY equal to YA by definition of normalizer of an element A. Now AY equal to YA implies Y inverse AY into Y inverse is equal to Y inverse YA Y inverse. I have pre multiplied by Y inverse and post multiplied by Y inverse on both sides. Y inverse is nothing but the identity element, because Y and Y inverse are also the elements of G. Because these are elements of NA, therefore these are also elements of G. So Y inverse is equal to E. So we are left with Y inverse A equal to A Y inverse. Now A XY inverse is equal to AX Y inverse, and this is equal to XA Y inverse by definition of normalizer of element A, and this is equal to X into AY inverse, and this is equal to X into y inverse A, we have just proved y inverse A equal to A y inverse. And this is equal to x y inverse into A. So A into x y inverse is equal to x y inverse into A. So x y inverse belongs to NA. This shows that the normalizer of A belonging to G, which is NA, is a subgroup of G. Now commutator subgroup of a group. If G is a group and xy belongs to G, then the element xy, x inverse, y inverse is called the commutator of the ordered pair xy. Maximal normal subgroup of a group. On normal subgroup H of a group G is called maximal normal subgroup of a group if there exists no proper normal subgroup of G which contains H properly. If H is a normal subgroup of a group G and K is a normal subgroup of G such that H is a subset of K is a subset of G, then K is equal to G. Thank you.